Rest upon me.
We live on Facebook.
All right, well, I don't hear no echo. That's good, right?
Why you have to say it? Now I hear it. Did you
But
turn
that sound
it?
like that's on your end. I don't hear it on my end.
You didn't hear that?
Nope.
Because that show wasn't on my side. Good morning, y'all. Are y'all praying for our IT people to hurry up and come to us?
Pray for the IT people.
Do y'all understand the assignment? That's what I'm saying. Before we get started today, I just want to talk about my hair, y'all. Okay, so do you know, ladies, I know you guys understand, like when you have planned to do a specific hairstyle and you have this vision of what it's supposed to look like and it do not come out that way. Like I was doing, the perm rod set. And one, I only had specific perm rod rollers, which is the little smaller ones. And I went to all these stores and none of the stores had the perm rod rollers that I needed, the size that I needed. Well, they didn't have none because apparently there's a shortage on rollers. I don't know who out here rolling their hair, but it's a shortage on rollers. So
I don't know who out here rolling their hair. Jesus.
So, so I was like, okay, I'm gonna use what I got. And I did my stuff and I was doing a big reveal this morning and I started taking it down and I was like, this is not what it was supposed to be. It was supposed to be, I should just show y'all a picture it was supposed to be because my hair is long. So it was supposed to be all long, elongated and stuff. It's not elongated. And don't get me wrong, I like short hair when I like short hair. Like I've cut my hair before because I wanted it short. But for this specific hairstyle was not supposed to look like this. And Jazz talking about I got a Jerry curl now. And so I'm over here trying to fix it and I'm probably making it worse. Probably making it worse. But, I like it, but it's not what I wanted. And so I just, I feel some type of way about it, but I'm working it out. It's going to be okay. I just.
You look cute.
Thank you.
It's not what you sent me last night, but it's still cute though.
I know.
Cute. Ain't nothing you could do wrong except for to wet it up and make it like Jerry-ish, just.
I don't want to wet it because then it's going, because if I wet it the way that it is now, as short as it is, I'm going to have this much hair. It's just all going to shrink.
Yeah, we don't want you to wet it though. It's going to be okay. It's going to stretch.
Yeah, I have an event this evening that I have to go to. And so I needed to stretch by 5 o'clock. I needed to look like that picture by 5 o'clock because that's what I was going for.
I don't know if it's going to look like that picture by 5 o'clock, but, we can both come into agreement if that's what you want to do,
Jesus.
Because them curls is tight, but it's cute. Leave it alone.
I can't.
Just leave it alone.
I'm going to confidently rock it the way that, however it ends up, because I look cute no matter what. But
yes, you do.
Thank you.
No matter what. Yeah.
I just, had a certain vision and I needed my vision to come into play. But anyways, let's get it. How are y'all doing today?
Waving at people on IG. All right, y'all. Good morning. It is Thursday. Somebody got her tea. I don't have no tea. Let me tell y'all what I did since we putting ourselves all on blast. Y'all see this? You see this thing right here? You see this? My face is breaking out, right? So instead of y'all seeing it break out, I decided that I was just gonna go ahead and just like pop it. And I was like, why would I do that before I'm getting ready to record? I don't know. I don't know why I thought this was a good. Y'all see this? You see this? I don't know why I thought it was a good idea, but it's okay. So y'all just ignore this and we're gonna go ahead and share.
Nobody really would have noticed it really until you said something about it.
How you know?
Because I didn't notice it. I didn't notice it till you pointed out. Now I'm gonna stare at the entire time.
Okay, well, don't stare at it. That's rude.
Okay, I won't stare at it.
Don't even be staring at it like that. Okay, anyways, today we are talking about what we wish our younger selves would have known. I'm trying to find the right verbiage.
Yeah.
Hold on, let me pull
I
it
thought
up.
that's what we did. What you wish you knew as a young woman.
Yes, that is what we said. We didn't put that on Facebook though.
Sure did, and I forgot. I was busy yesterday trying to do my hair,
There's a
y'all.
lot of stuff going on. It's great. It's all cool. Yeah. So something that we wish we would have knew as a younger woman. And good morning, Omar. Omar, the lifestyle coach.
Good morning.
Hey.
On my side on Instagram, I can't see nobody's stuff. So yeah.
So then I will just say good morning for everybody on IG. Good morning, everybody. Hopefully you can hear us. Let us know how the sound is and everything. But one thing, so I'll say my first one thing. You don't have to dress that way to get a man's attention. Okay. You dress a provocative way to get a certain type of person's attention. A man, a gentleman, a man who is going to honor you and respect you and treat you the way that you deeply desire in the back of your mind. Well, for me, because I guess I can't speak for all women. Talk about for me. You don't have to look like the world. You don't have to look like everyone else. I wish that would have been something that I would have known earlier. Because trying to dress in the spandex and have your boobs out and your booty out. What was I wearing? It was a little
a Catwoman suit on.
Little Daisy Dukes. No, I was wearing very revealing stuff, but it was also the industry that I was in at that time. And that kind of went along with the territory. But prior to me making the decision, like, yeah, I'm about to get up into this industry, I wish I would have, valued myself enough to know that I don't have to expose my body to get attention from a little boy, but rather, that it's okay to keep myself covered, or maybe not let so much out. I'm not going to be like, you didn't have to let nothing out. Sometimes you might see a little something, but I'm talking about all of the girls out.
You don't have to be walking around with stars on your nipples.
With Daisy Dukes. No, I was never able to wear stars on myself like that. I'm a little blessed. So
it's the abundance, the abundance.
Omar said he loves your glasses.
Oh, thank you.
She looks really nice, huh?
I'm gonna wear these tonight instead of putting my contacts in, so I can look all studious.
You do. You look very studious.
So I would say something that I wish I would have known is, my voice matters. I wish that would have been something that would have been spoken about more as a kid. And that's why I try to, teach my kids that, like, what you think, what you have to say, it matters. Because, and we talked about this on For the Love of Men, is like, children are supposed to be seen and not heard. Well, that put a lot of us in a bad situation growing up, where we were molested and we couldn't even talk about it because we're supposed to be seen and not heard. And so who do we say, who's going to listen to us, who's going to believe us? And I wish I would have known that, because I could have known that I could say no, which would have helped as an adult, getting, becoming an adult and just really understanding the power of learning boundaries. So if I would have had a voice as a young child and known that I didn't have to accept what people did to me, then as an adult, I wouldn't have accepted a whole lot of stuff that I went through. I wouldn't have felt like that I needed to people please and always say yes to everybody, because I didn't want people to be upset with me. So it's something that I try to instill in my kids now. Like, we may not always agree, but I want you to feel like you can come and tell me how you feel about something. Even if you think that I'm wrong about something, go ahead and tell me, and we're going to talk about this stuff. It don't mean I'm going to change my mind, but I want you to have, and if I'm wrong about it, I'll accept that I'm wrong, because just because I'm an adult doesn't make me right. I think we learned that in Matilda, when all the adults was going around saying,
She said my
I'm big and you're small and I'm right and you're wrong. And she was like, but we don't have no superpowers like her. But, you know, she proved that all them adults was like really bad people. And you should listen to kids sometimes. So I don't know where that came from. I ain't seen Matilda in a long time, but
I haven't seen Matilda in a minute. I kind of forgot all of that she was just talking about, but thank you, Lord, for bringing it back to my remembrance. For me, the second thing I would say, are we hearing feedback? Do you hear feedback?
I don't hear anything.
Okay. Is credit and paying your bills on time. And yes, it does matter. Okay. I wish I would have been a lot bit more educated when it comes to money and credit and finances and these credit cards. Because as soon as you get out of high school, everybody offering you credit cards. And then you taking these credit cards and you buying every single thing that you think that you need on these credit cards. And it's just like a financial, is that illiteracy?
Yeah.
Being financially illiterate.
Financially.
I wish I was literate when it came to finances because, you know, I'm 36 now and I'm still working on, you know, getting my credit to what I want it to be, you know, what I want it to be. I want my credit to be in the 800s. Y'all, I'm gonna be real honest with y'all. I think I got a piece of paper and it was from Credit Karma. And I know Credit Karma reports things different, blah, blah, blah before. Let me just throw the little plug in there. But either way, I was still monitoring it on Credit Karma. And girl, I saw a 350. Did you even know you can get a 350?
I know that's like the lowest score.
I was sitting at a 350. And I think I got it up to like a 420 when I met my husband. So this is where I kind of wanted to like take a little detour because I was reading somebody's Facebook and they were saying, you know, should you marry somebody who has jacked up credit? Like, should you even get in a conversation? Like, should you even engage when someone got some jacked up credit? Let me tell you how God's grace is sufficient, because if my husband needed somebody with some good credit, y'all, it wasn't me. It wasn't me. You hear me? It was like a 420, 450. And I took a picture. It's on my Facebook. I'm gonna have to look. I'm gonna look for it and I'm gonna share it on here. But it was a 450 when me and Michael got married.
Wow. See, yeah, me being on like the opposite end of that, like having good credit and then getting with somebody who's not, and I elevated them and they messed my stuff up. Never again, y'all. It would have to be all Jesus to be like, no, this is really.
You see how we on different spectrums? Because I'm like, I'm glad that my husband gave me a chance, because now, not to put my husband on blast, but now my credit score is better than bruhs, you know what I'm saying? But that came through a lot of help. That came through a lot of him helping me out, you know, with the credit and making sure I was making payments on time and us getting educated on it and stuff like that.
So that is extremely important. Like if you're going to be with somebody and they stuff ain't, you know, right, they got to be willing to want to grow and make it better. Yes.
That's the thing.
Yeah, they just can't be living off of you and leeching and stuff. And because I'm and maybe the Lord is still working me on that. Like I said, Jesus had to come down from heaven to my face in physical form and be like, listen, this is the person that you are supposed to be with. And I know they credit score is messed up because I got some PTSD behind that, y'all. I don't trust nobody. Don't touch my money. Don't touch my credit. Don't touch my nothing. We can't be on nothing together. I'm not even changing my last name again ever.
Oh my God, song.
Listen, I said I never again.
Y'all hear that trauma? We gonna work through all that trauma.
Stanford till the day I die. You better change your name. I'm not changing my name. I'm not even hyphenating. I'm not doing it ever again. I'm just listen. But the Lord is working on me because I'm sure Jesus is gonna be. He might change my mind. I
mean, I was like that too. I didn't want to change my last name, and then I ended up marrying a Brown, so I didn't have to change my last name.
Facts. So you know, any guys,
so it's definitely not impossible. But don't count the brother out if the credit ain't all the way right. Now, here we go. This was what I was 29. I wasn't in my 30s. I was in my late 20s.
Listen, I'm almost 40. Y'all, I'll be 37 next month. Oh my God. I'll be 37 next month. And so any dude that comes, you old enough, you better have your stuff together. I'm not helping you. No, listen, you already better be in your growth process and working on stuff. We can grow together. I'm not helping you from the ground up. That season is over. You should have called me in my 20s when I was willing to help people. I'm not doing that anymore. See, G's still working on me. And Jazz is like,
yes,
Jazz is
G's
like,
still working
the
on
Lord,
her.
the Lord showed
Y'all
me.
say a prayer for song.
She was like, the Lord showed me you getting married and stuff. And I was like, you lie. That was the devil. Because I ain't trying to mess with, leave me alone. Leave me alone. Y'all
She
mess
just
up
ain't
people's
ready.
credit.
She ain't ready right now. It's okay, y'all. Y'all just keep song and prayer. You see, we done talked about this credit and it done struck a nerve. You know what I'm saying? I'm over here like,
Triggered
oh,
in that area still.
it struck an area. Now listen, just do everything prayerfully is what I'm gonna say. But I thank God again, his grace was sufficient for me because my husband could have been like, your credit score is who? I didn't even know it could be that low. You know what I'm saying? I didn't even know. You know, and I'm close to pushing 800 right now. So look, with God, all things are possible, and it is super important. Pay your bills on time, pay them before time is up, and pay them ahead of time if you can. And make your minimum payment if you can't pay it off all the way, so you don't have to pay interest fees. And yeah, so that's my plug for the credit.
One of the big things that my pastor has taught me, because he talks a lot about finance and being a good steward over your finances, but he said, like, he only uses his credit card, just to build that credit thing, but he does not use it unless he already knows he has the full amount in his account to pay it off. So he'll pay it on his credit card and then immediately go and make that payment and pay the whole thing off. So he doesn't ever have to, well, not immediately, but wait for it to hit the account and then pay it off. And then that helps you build your credit while keeping you out of that debt. So you're not, because a lot of times as youth, we are not taught that this credit card, this is not your money. Like, you have to pay this back while you're trying to live luxuriously and have all the, fancy stuff or whatever. I was having a conversation with my brother about this yesterday. Like, as you get older, you get past that whole feeling like, I need this huge house, I need these fancy cars and stuff, because you're not trying to flex for other people. You like, I want to be a philanthropist, but people not know that I got all this stuff. Like, let me just be a giver and be able to all my bills paid, and then I could travel and I ain't got to worry about getting all this all this extra maintenance done on stuff that's way too expensive for no reason. Like,
Yeah.
We were talking about, you can buy or kind of like renting jets and boats and all kinds of stuff like that, so that you don't have to worry about the maintenance of it, because you share it with somebody else and you just use it whenever you want. And I was like, see, that's what I don't need a whole jet that I got to worry about maintenance on. I just want to use it when I want to use it. And then you take it back and take care of that stuff. So, there's a lot of things that wealthy people do that most people don't even know how to do, because never been taught that. But it is definitely something we need to learn and teach our kids, because we can't keep sending our kids out there, y'all, at 18 talking about, well, figure it out, because I had to figure it out. That's not good parenting. That's setting them up for failure, and we don't want to keep doing that. But that's my rant on financial literacy. So something else that I wish that I knew when I was younger. A lot of my stuff, y'all, be like self-worth and value and stuff. Like, I wish I knew.
Same.
I wish I knew how valuable I was, because like Jazz was saying in the beginning, I wouldn't have wore certain things. I wouldn't have gave myself to, just people just because it was just a thing to do, because everybody else was doing it. So I'm gonna do it too. I would have been more, like, not feeling like I needed to always be in a relationship. Because when I was younger, I always thought I always had to have a boyfriend.
But why did you feel like that though?
Because I didn't value myself on the inside. I didn't know how to be alone. One, I had never seen really my mom ever be single. She always was in a relationship with somebody. And so I just thought that this is what you're supposed to do. You always supposed to be in a relationship with somebody because that's what we do. We don't be alone. So and now I value my alone time, y'all. And it's not even like it's not even because I don't like people. Okay, I love men, y'all, because for the love of men, I love men. And I know there are great men out there. And I'm not saying, Jesus, I'm not saying if you send the right one that I will say no. But
well, praise God. Lord, you heard her, right? I had to get in my microphone. You heard that, right? Okay.
But I am saying that I learned to appreciate my space and my time, and where the things God has healed me from. So I don't need a man to validate me.
Hey,
I
glory.
don't need a man to validate me. I don't
Yes.
need a man to make me feel more important or like I am, because God does that. God has already told me who I am in him, and anything that you add is an extra benefit. I had to learn how to love me first.
Yeah.
And if you don't learn to love you and see yourself through the way that God sees you, you're always going to be in a place where you're needy and you need somebody to tell you who you are. And so then you'll lower your standard and do stuff in relationships that you would not normally want to do, but because you need them to make you feel better about yourself and you don't want them to leave you, you'll do these things. So I wish those are things that I knew. I'm really happy now that I have a daughter that I can teach these things to, because when Essence get up, you ain't gonna be able to tell my daughter nothing. You can't tell her nothing now. She's one. But
you sure can't tell Essie Pooh nothing. Okay.
She'd be like, no. No.
No, Mom, no.
Right. And then she questioned everything. If you tell her something, well, why? Who taught you this stuff? Who taught you these things? So, but yeah, it's important that you teach your kids these things, because if not, they grow up and then you be like, why you keep dating these people? It's because you as a parent didn't teach them, or you didn't lead by example.
Simple T. Okay. Omar, the lifestyle coach said, or the life coach, my bad. It says, learn to love yourself first.
Yes.
That's key. I hope it's not echoing again. All right, what time is it? 7:37. Let's see. Come on. Why 7:30? That's not a jet, is it?
What? A 7:30? I feel like
it's 7:47.
What's the jet, y'all?
7:47.
What's the jet? Is it 7:47, 7:47? I don't know. I don't know the names of them. I just know if they look pretty on the inside or not. Really, that's what I look at, y'all. I couldn't tell you if the jet is a good jet or not, but if it looks nice on the inside, if it got seats that recline and I'm gonna be comfortable, that's what I want.
She said they got seats that recline. Girl, why my hair? I don't know where the song is coming from. It going boom like a 808.
Hey.
I don't know why that song is on my mind. Anyway,
Look, when
okay, so I think the last thing maybe I would say is
with the Daisy Duke song. That's what I was thinking when you were singing that. I mean, not singing that, when you said that.
And that's what I was wearing, them little Daisy Dudes. So now they trying to bring Daisy Dudes back. Like, y'all, this ain't nothing new. Fashion is recycled. Anyway, I'm not even gonna go there. I'm not even gonna go there. But peer pressure. Peer pressure.
Why do you feel like people give into peer pressure though? As youth, I have my ideals, but I want to hear yours.
I think people give into me, because again, I'm going to speak for myself. I gave into peer pressure because my peers were telling me something that sounded like something that I wanted, sounded like something that I needed, or their lives appeared to be good and they appeared to be doing the things, having the things, getting the things maybe that I wanted. So I allowed that. But as an adult, I realized that I was being peer pressured to do some stuff, maybe because of that person's insecurity or because of something that's going on with them. Oh my gosh. And then they try to peer pressure me to doing what they were doing to get me involved in a mess. And so I've been trying to tell my kids now, be careful when it comes to stuff like that. Because the biggest peer pressure situation that I found myself in is when I lost my virginity.
Right.
Okay. It feels so good. It's the best ever. I just, all the time. And, all of these other things that you might hear your friends say, oh, it feels so good. And you just feel bliss and you feel all of this. I was bamboozled. Okay.
Right.
You hear me?
I'm trying to think what it was like when I was a teenager doing that.
I was bamboozled. It was not all of that. It was wham, bam. Thank you, ma'am. And let me go on by my business and let me just leave you here just confused. Like what just happened? Because that's what it was. I was confused. I was like, what happened? That was it. It was like, that was it. It wasn't glorious. It wasn't magnificent. It wasn't all of this other stuff. And then by listening to this person tell me this, or these people, because it wasn't just like a person of people saying that, oh, it was this whole experience, I was very disappointed. I was super disappointed my first go around, and I wasn't even ready to have sex. Like I wasn't thinking about having sex or nothing. It was just people just, oh, it feels good. Oh, you should do this. Oh, you could do this, blah, blah. And I was like, fine, let me just do it. That's how I lost mine. I just said, fine, sure. Okay.
So it's funny that, and I'm trying not to be graphic, y'all, but I
try not to.
As women, if you ever, when you first lose yours, what happens. Is nothing about that is a beautiful experience. It's actually really disgusting and messy and nasty. And your friends don't tell you that part. Like, oh girl, this is gonna like for my friends who have never had a baby before, I tell them all the gory things about, when you're in labor, all the horrible things that happen to your body, how your stuff can split, all kinds of stuff. I go into graphic.
How your stuff gets split.
Right. I was like, just so you know, because they say it's a beautiful experience. And yes, we're thankful for the baby, but all of this stuff is going to happen to your body. You ain't going to be able to hold your stuff together. You might pee on yourself. It's a lot of stuff that happens, y'all, when you have babies. So I just feel like people should be more real and tell you the truth about stuff before you jump into it, So you have all your options. Because when I first lost mine, nobody told me that was going to happen. And it was just like, it was like,
oh, you thought you was going to die?
I thought I was like, did you turn my menstrual cycle on? Did you? I didn't know it could go on and off like that. Nobody taught me that. They didn't even teach that in school when we had sex ed. Like, I don't know what my class was teaching, but yeah. So, so my thoughts on peer pressure, it goes back to, parents not giving their kids a voice. And there was this book that I read, and I read so many books, I forget which one it was, but I think it was in the book Boundaries. And they were saying that the boy kept giving in to what his friends was telling him to do because he has spent all these years as a kid growing up giving into whatever his parents said. His parents like, well, because I said so, you have to do this. And because he never learned how to voice his own opinion, then it was much easier for him when he became a teenager to give into what his friends said, versus if your kids grow up and they're able to ask questions like, oh, why do we do this? Why why do I have to listen to you in this aspect and stuff? And why can't I tell you no? Then, they grow up and they're like, I don't have to do what my friends tell me to do just because, like, my son Jeremiah, he'd be like, listen, I'm doing my own thing. I don't care what nobody else is doing. And that's the way that I've raised him. And I know sometimes some people be like, he's just too opinionated and stuff. No, I need him to be opinionated because I don't need him to be a follower and follow somebody off a cliff somewhere. I need him to be a leader. But now we cultivate, how are you leading people? Because I don't want you to be the person leading people off cliffs. So, it's important that we allow our kids to ask questions and stuff. Like, they're not, just because you gave birth to them don't mean they're yours. That's something I had to learn at a young age too. I wish I would have learned at a young age too. It would have helped me in my beginning years of parenting. Just because I opened my legs and got pregnant does not mean that these are my kids. These kids belong to God. They are a gift from God. And how we parent them, how we cultivate and develop them we are going to be held accountable for those things. Like, God is not just going to be like, oh, well, just do whatever you want with them. No, you messing these kids up. The word of God says that it's better for you to tie a millstone around your neck and drown yourself than for you to mess these kids up. And we got all these kids that's messed up because these parents think, well, it's my kid, I'm gonna do whatever I want to do. And the Lord checked me, like, you know, in my parenting walk, when I really started giving it to him, like, these ain't your kids, these are my kids. So watch how you talk to them. I done got checked a few times, like, don't say that to them. And I'm like, okay, well, did you see how they had their attitude? Yes, but you can correct it in a different way. And sometimes they can have their attitude because they get it from us.
They get it from their mama.
Are you ready? What time?
I was, yes, in my seat.
Oh, no, my son's standing at the door like, is you done? First of all, he know I record on.
It's cool. It's 7:45. Yeah.
Anyway, we sorry we was late for y'all this morning. We know we said 7 o'clock, and it's really, you know, a curse of the Black community, I should say, that we say a certain time and then we don't show up on time. That's bad. And we're gonna stop doing that. We're gonna be on time.
Why you have to put us all on blast like that? Maybe
because I'm being accountable.
Notice.
Listen. It don't matter.
Did y'all even notice?
Did y'all know we was 12 minutes late? Did y'all know we was 12 minutes late? I'm just, you know, even if you didn't notice, we got to be accountable to the time we said. And I'm saying that not even necessarily for her, because she called me and she was like, is you ready? And I was like, no, I'm still taking my hair down. But because
we could do that. That's God's grace right there. We cool.
Listen, I saw this meme, and this person was speeding, and she said, I'm not under the law, I'm under grace. And that didn't stop her from getting a speeding ticket.
Yes, honey. Yes, baby.
Good morning, brother.
Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and get off now.
My
husband's back with my ride.
All right, well, we love y'all. We'll talk to y'all later. Let us know in the comments, you know, what are some things that you wish you would have learned and knew as a younger person.
He said, "Don't show the price tag." Thank you.
I already saw it, but it's the thought that counts. That is so.
Thank you, baby. You want to put them? Thank you. Oh, thank you.
Get you somebody who appreciates you on every day.
You trying to get him some? I gotta go to work, boy. Why you playing?
Listen, I don't have to bring flowers to get me some, okay?
Exactly, because I know her, so I know that's not the case.
No, he don't need to get flowers, but it does help. You know what I'm saying?
So yeah, get you somebody who celebrates you not just on holidays and stuff, but just regular. You know, that's important. That's something I wish I would have known too. Just throw that out there.
What?
Somebody who celebrates you and appreciates you all the time, not just
on holidays.
Because Valentine's Day don't mean nothing if the whole rest of the year they treat you like trash.
Say that.
Just in case y'all didn't know.
Just saying.
But okay, we gon' go.
All right, y'all. It's been real. I gotta head to work. Love y'all. I'm out.
Like, subscribe, comment, all that stuff.
Peace and fish grease and all the other stuff.
Your alarm went off?